Baby. Good luck there, Xiao Wei. Tying to the creep wave. Because these are supersized me creeps on the top lane. But they have that double RP up on Yao. And not to mention, it's a double RP. So he can pop everything he wants to and not have to worry about mana pool like you normally do with a double RP because he has that cheese on him still. So BKB, jump in, throw it off, throw the refresher, and then just do it all over again. And that is going to be the opening for Sylar to take this game. No matter how long this game goes, we can go 90 minutes on this game, and LGD's combination can still kill off every single one of Alliance's players.
Yeah, they have so good ultis. They have 3 ultis that go through BKB. So there's not even an option, like the BKB on Furion is nice and all, but there's so many ways they can still cancel him. And when Alchemist gets as close to him as he was in the last fight, there's no way for Furion to deal any form of damage.
C-Load is also basically maxed. He's going to sell his drums.
He can sell the drums, and he can even change the Diffusal Blade into something like a crit, and it becomes even more effective.
He bought a new recipe for the Diffusal Blade.
Yeah, he wants to fill it up again. Want to have those chances.
Is this like the first time in 20 minutes that LGD have got a ward on the opposite side of the river?
I think, can he actually refill it with just buying the new one? I don't think he can.
I don't think you can either. I think he's actually going to buy a whole new diffusal. And yeah,
buy the whole thing, Loda. It doesn't work.
Now he realizes. He's like,
this is awkward.
Damn it.
Come on, you got the money. Just pay up.
Does he really want to put that much pressure onto a diffusal blade for himself?
I think at this point, Daedalus is even better. Like, just having that is really good.
That's going to be frustrating. That's wasted money, too. That's wasted money. It's not going to be, like, huge for a PL.
No, he has 6,000, so it's not really that big. But bottom,
it's
tier 1. 55 minutes tier 1.
Well, there it goes. And they can pick up a tier 2 tower too. Xiao Wei, whoa! Stun is from DD, they find EGM. Follow-up stun from Sylar. The Familiars will buy the space. Blinding Light pushes them back, but Sylar still able to get the fist pumps in and looks like double refresher. Yao's already used it. He pulled Admiral Bulldog down. Sees S4 on the side. Now the Hex over on Yao. Sylar, BKB will wear off, but the Chemical Rage comes up. S4 on his little path out the side. Escape tunnel. Only one lost in that entire fight, and they've got to get back because, would you believe it, PL's pushing inside the base.
Yeah, Loda did destroy mid tower during that time, so base getting even more exposed, but nice fight for LG still, but they can't do this too many times. Next time it's going to be on Rax that the pressure is put.
Admiral Bulldog was on a little bit of a hunt that he TP'd in to try and find Xiao Wei as well as DDC, but while Xiao Wei's got this Blink Dagger, also, difficult hero to try and control. Also a great item for him to have. When these fights keep happening, like we saw that fight in the bottom lane where it ended up having a Roar just down here in this box. They come out very, very quickly, and then they do it so quickly, Alliance, even though they're on the higher ground here, which is where they want to stand, it takes them a very, very long time before they can get themselves into a better position to fight up against LGD. And in that time, you're already looking at RPs. Which, by the way, is off cooldown again, even though his refresher is not.
Yeah, and Roshan gonna respawn. I can't remember last time I cast a game
with 5 Roshans?
No, where there was one guy having 7,000 gold, another guy also having 7,000, and then a guy having 8,000 gold. They're just so rich and gear capped.
This Roshan belongs to Alliance.
Rosh is gone.
So we get, well, S4 will get his cheese back again. No, he takes the Aegis this time. Admiral Bulldog will take the cheese. Obviously, Loda doesn't have a slot for anything until he sells those drums. He's got 8.3k gold. Buy something.
Well, there's 9.5 on the Nature's Prophet.
This isn't 2009. You can't buy back multiple times in a row.
There's a new Diffusal Blade level 2. This is the first time the Roshan has been killed so many times in the game. Poor Roshan.
He actually did. He sold his entire Diffusal Blade so he can pick it up. Well done, Loda.
Well, he has it now, at least.
Obviously, in his next email to IceFrog, he's like, would you please make it so we can refresh the charges? I don't want to buy this thing entirely again. Whoop, Xiao Wei's getting hit. They realize there's a ward on the high ground now. They got to back themselves up because with that ward up there, S4 just is open for initiation. Loda's also going, are we looking at a second heart, or is he even thinking about Satanic right now? He just picked up a Reaver.
I guess it's a heart. He's gonna heart push. It's gonna be, I believe we saw it in G1 League at the Grand Finals. Not sure. I believe it was used in one of the games there where just a PL kept pushing with double hot illusions.
This is not going to work though if Sylar picks up something like a Daedalus and sells a Shadow Blade, because with that Empower buff up too, he is going to clean up the double hunt illusion as though it's nothing.
Well, it puts the pressure that Sylar always has to be the guy to kill them, because look at how he has to hit several times to just kill these illusions, and with another hot, it's actually going to take even more time, so I guess that's the plan. I still believe that a little more DPS on the PL would be nice, but...
Okay.
Yeah.
Refresher Sylar. Refresher Sylar.
Oh no, the creeps.
Live Couriers, live Couriers! Range creeps.
Yeah.
And not your friend, no! Oh! Perseverance gets back to base safely. They're still pushing on the bottom lane, but DD has found the real loader, and he buys a Battle Fury. So he wants to stack up its cleave without just having the Empower all the time.
Yeah, it's a really good choice, I feel, with the second heart coming especially. And the mid-range racks, it's going down.
Yep, they're going to clean it. It's gone. This is the power of a farmed up and tanky PL.
They need to defend bottom.
They do. They do. There's a lot coming in. The Familiars are actually taking this off with the creep wave. With the Illumina that cleans it off, Xiao Wei is just trying to pick up the birds. And DD, again, like these illusions just keep pushing. The only upside right now is the fact that was the range racks in the middle lane. It wasn't the melee racks. So the mid shields, the ones that gain the momentum in the lanes, are not available. That is not real, even though it will take you just as long to kill it.
Funny thing is that Bulldog is so rich, you could just TP to base, buy a Necro free, and just push with it some, and then sell it.
He picks up a Manta style.
Manta style gonna be equally good, even better for DPS.
It's almost like he wants to go in, die, pop the cheese.
Bottom.
Ooh.
Blinking by Rexar, didn't catch him.
Oh. We hit the hour mark. There's Sylar. He's now getting sick of this. He's getting sick of these. He's popping Chemical Rage to get rid of the illusions. And S4, he latches TDC. Hex as well. The Cogs, he's actually pushed back far enough. The Piglet runs. Beastmaster, blink up, raw. EGM forced out the way. The Concoction will still fly up. Xiao Wei try to beat him down. RP! Catching two. Refresh already used. Aegis Immortals up. Skewering down. Nothing but fakes. The Visage will buy back. They want to kill up RK. No supports can come in. S4 being stripped up. The base. What's happening? The base is currently being sacked. Bottom lane, Admiral Bulldog's in here. They have to defend Commobot back. And now your secondary RP. Familiar buys in space. Sylar beats down Admiral Bulldog. And Loader, nightmared up. Concoction, one stun, two stun. Hold. Slice. Loader, he's gone.
The mid-racks, the only one standing.
98 seconds. They have to hold the mid-melee. The Familiars will die as well. If they lose its mid-melee, we got Mega Creeps for Alliance. 61 minutes in. Even Beastmaster now buys BTs. LGD must
Travels
push.
on everyone.
They must push.
They're gonna hold the side lanes and push in mid.
Base. It's like a Shadow Blade, BKB. It's like somebody said, like, you've just won the lottery, buy everything you will never use again.
It's Christmas time in Dota.
Oh man, LGD,
LGD getting the support of the crowd.
Look at even the graph change, man. This is a 24,000 advantage, pulled back to 3,000 experience. Who cares about gold? Loader may even go down to his own quote in the team profile. They will want to push. The tier 2 towers, it's now the time.
That divine. Sylar going for it.
You are a man, Sylar. You are a man.
LGD going big or go home.
Do they go GG? Look at the TP's bottom lane. They already got support. Loader, Admiral Bulldog. Do they turn? Do they rush the GG? Raw in. They've already found Arcade. Arcade goes down. DDC stunned up Sylar. He's just going for kills. But back inside the base.
They have to go for throw. They have to kill a tier 3.
They're going for the throne race. And now the stun of DD. Where is it? The tier 4s are gone. They have to go back. It's too late. It's too late for LGD. Alliance will take the win here. Loader and Bulldog in through the rear. There's just not enough deeps. Sylar, he's trying.
So close.
62 minutes, 46 seconds. 31 to 30 kills mean nothing. Throne means everything. Alliance, this is game 1 up against LGDCN. They chose their opponents. They chose to have this kind of match. And they will have to have this match again. Game 2 coming up.
Game 1. What kind of a series are we in for, Toby, with this being our game one?
I don't want to say. The people that can say is our panel. Over to the boys back in the main hall.
Thank you, Toby, and congratulations to Alliance. They knew how they wanted to finish the game. They did so successfully, and they're still undefeated. But what an absolutely amazing game one here on day 2 of the International. What can you say about this?
Best game so far. Sick game.
Wow. I mean, it was just as Loda said in the pre-game show. It was the goal doesn't matter, kills don't matter. LGD were ahead in kills, and it doesn't even matter at all. They just did such a good job of split pushing, constantly being annoying. And once that first Rax went down in the top lane, it was kind of the beginning of the end.
It was downhill from them. But do you think they could have gotten the throne in time if they had not taken the mid tier 3 tower?
But you have to take.
You have to take one tier 3 tower to go for the throne.
Well, I'm fairly new to the game, so
okay, yeah. I will explain to you later.
Yeah,
maybe you can join it.
I'm glad we have an expert analyst on the panel.
Maybe they ignored, Ake.
Yeah, that's the thing.
If they for me, I was like, this is nice. You've got a blink
well, Blinding Light. I mean.
That's true.
That's a lot of missed attacks.
But
how long does Blinding Light last?
They have BKBs.
Regardless,
I don't think
they could have potentially had Mag TP back and just try and control them with double RP and delay it. That's like 7 seconds of disabling.
I think they should have taken back at least the Magnus. And maybe just got the kill onto Ake, and I think it was the Visage of EGM, ignored him. They did have BKB on Sylar and also the
Magnus.
Yeah, but not on the Beastmaster, but you needed the Beastmaster for the Aura at least.
Exactly, but he doesn't need to do damage. Just being
here he uses Roar and Aki too. So
hey man, every bit of damage counts, you know.
I mean, it was a long shot though. They were down 5 Rex and with a range at half HP too. So it was the best move they could do.
But let's be honest. I mean, how far along were they from taking the throne? 2 seconds, like 2 more seconds, and they got it.
Yeah, 2 RPs would have done the trick.
Yeah, I really think the Magnus going back. Only kill Ake and let the Visage just be Visage, because he didn't have enough damage Visage. Like, he didn't even have his Axe.
No.
You can ignore the Familiars as long as you just avoid a stun, if that's possible. But he doesn't have a way to slow down your DPS, because he had like a mech and I think a...
Did Yao have a Rapier?
Yeah, he had a Rapier.
It takes a lot of discipline to do that, though, to just straight up ignore a hero and go for the T4s and into the throne.
Yeah, and someone would have had to been watching base to actually tell them what was going on when they were all focusing on their jobs in the fight. So but I mean, it could have been theirs. I think it's viable. I really do.
Let's talk about the game as a whole instead, because a lot of different things could have happened by the end, but this was the turnout. I think the game on a whole, amazing play by S4, great Blinding Light and Roshan Pit by Ake, amazing Magnus by Yao. Like, I just feel a lot of these players just gave it their best, and we got an amazing game out of it. I was very, very amazed by some of the hooks S4 displayed, like around the 20 to 30 minute mark.
Yeah, he was really big mid-game. We can actually take a look at one of the fights. This is S4 actually hooking in to Xiao Wei, and Sylar smartly pops his BKB, just eats his way through the cogs, gets the second kill, and it looks great for LGD. EGM going to get the worst of it, but then all of a sudden here comes a decent turnaround. Yao doesn't get the best RP. Loda did bait that one out. Bulldog actually TP'd in and used Orchid onto the Nyx, so they stopped a potential stun into RP. And LGD come out on, Alliance come out on top of this fight.
Loda did such a fantastic job of not getting caught out ever, and this is the next to last Rex on bottom lane. They try and RP Admiral Bulldog, but
it's all about the familiars.
Yeah, they were fighting a 4-on-5, but they just lost so much on every trade. Poor Loda.
And I don't even know, Yao's RP status actually when they finally pushed. So even though we mentioned it, I'm assuming it should have been up.
Loda only had, I think, 2 deaths this whole entire game, and his position was near flawless.
Yeah. But yeah, to also mention the mid-game Malk, it was like S4 kept him so well into the game. Just because it's such a scary lineup. Like, the Alchemist, played by Sylar, was doing a great job farming. He was always on top of the network for a long time. And they just had a huge amount of stun combos. You got Nyx Assassin, you got Beastmaster, Bane can also control somebody, and also the RP. So the Alchemist could have had the best time in the fights. If it wasn't for S4, really, in my opinion, holding the mid-game really well with his hero on Clockwork, it could have actually been LGD's game, even in the mid-game.
Definitely, but one of the things that I noticed as well was the fact that everyone on Alliance actually got sort of big. So we saw that best in the mid lane. When Yao had to blink in, reverse polarity, skewer him back in, skewer the Archer on the Keeper of the Light back to the Bane, who used Fiend's Grip, and Beastmaster had already roared him, and then the Vendetta from the Nyx came in, and that was all to kill a Keeper of the Light. So they had to commit a lot of spells just to get one hero.
Yeah, they had Ghost Scepters, they had Force Staffs too, and without Beastmaster with Ags, it's really difficult to lock those heroes down, and they were just so much more farmed than
And we're talking about a lineup that had 5 heroes with stuns. I mean, that's something that LGD China does a lot. They like to pick as many heroes with stun as possible. You had the Magnus with the RP, you had the Alchemist with the Concoction, Bane with the Fiend's Grip, you had, I'm drawing a blank. What else they have?
Beastmaster Roar, Nyx.
Beastmaster Roar and Nyx with the stuns. So, I mean, them doing really, really strong in terms of how you could play. And here is, that's the final part of the race. But yeah, they couldn't make the most use of that, because when you have a Phantom Lancer, you just, that's the players. When you have the Phantom Lancer, it's so hard to lock him down. And then there was a Burst. I don't think the heroes took as many towers as the Illusions and the Burst did.
Oh no, definitely not. You could see that LGD used the entire lineup to defend the bottom lane. Meanwhile, the top lane just died every single time, and there was nothing that they needed the Alchemist to defend it. You saw Nyx trying to go in with an Impale, nothing really happened. Magnus was standing there, nothing really happened. There's just not much they could do. And in all of these skirmishes that they had throughout the game, Alliance was just on top of those Force Staff usage. They were so good at making their heroes like. We saw it best when I think DD on the Nyx wanted to stun S4 and he immediately force-stepped out of it, and that would have been a great kill to pick up because he didn't have buyback at the time and he was standing very far out from his team. That could have changed things a lot of times. For
I was desperately hoping that someone would preemptive force staff the Magnus when they had vision on him. So when he blinks, he gets force staff instantly. And that would have been. I was like, come on, top 10 plays for day 2, but we definitely got some in there as well. And there was one moment as S4 brought back onto the top lane and actually kept Loader alive super well. But unfortunately, he went down to a stray Bane walking in. But it would have been the best save of the tournament, like saving Loader in that team fight. So phenomenal play by Alliance, but also we really have to say congratulations in terms of their play and what they've shown us in Game 1 LGD. I think that now, the way they lost, they should be feeling like, well, we can win.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think this match is still all in the open. I mean, Alliance should probably praise themselves lucky that they managed to win this game, because it could easily have gone the other way. They got a sort of greedy by the end of it and just took fights they really couldn't win and just counted on their buybacks. They could very well have lost their throne by then.
Do you think they were overconfident in picking LGD as their opponent?
No, I think it was wasn't really much of overconfidence. LGD is the team that knows least about them of the teams they could choose. The other one being Fnatic, right?
Yeah.
So if Alliance has been swimming Fnatic a lot, and Fnatic has a very
good idea,
sometimes erratic playstyle, it's hard for Alliance to know what they're going into. Whereas LGD, being one of the premier Chinese teams, really has a very distinct playstyle that Alliance has prepared for.
All right, well, we've already seen some amazing stuff here from the players, but we've also got some other amazing stuff for you, because I believe Casey found some artwork on the show floor.
Let me see if I can get in the middle of it. Hi, how are you? I'm Casey.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. What was your name?
Matt.
Matt. So we were admiring this from afar. Explain to us what this is.
So this is a piece of art that I had commissioned for the International 3. I want to use it as a trophy in my house to hopefully get everybody to sign around the edges, all the players and stuff. This is actually the Dire Side Radiant, or Ancient, and the Radiant Side Ancient kind of juxtaposed. The idea is we wanted to make something that would let all Dota players have something to relate to. And so it's, if you notice, there's no heroes in it. It's just, honestly, the raw battle between good and evil. And that's what we were going for.
How long did this take to be finished, do you think?
It took her about 30 hours of work, and it took me about 30 hours of talking to her over email, over Skype, things like that, getting it just exactly how we wanted it. So
how happy are you with it?
So thrilled. It honestly turned out way better than I could have ever even imagined it would. So
what's been the reaction so far walking through here?
We actually just got here, and it's just been a crowd pleaser, I guess. Didn't expect that. Hopefully it'll make it easier to get the people that I want to sign it.
Yeah, take a look. There are people that have been gathering around too, just trying to see what it looks like. So who are you hoping to get? Is there anybody here you absolutely cannot leave here without having their signature?
There is no person who I cannot get on this and not feel badly about if I miss them. Yeah, I need to get everybody, so.
Where is this going to go while you're sitting inside watching the tournament?
We'll find out.
Your lucky neighbor's lap.
Yeah, exactly. Hold it in front of the people behind me, they'll love it, I'm sure.
I'm sure they won't mind at all. It looks fantastic. Thank you for showing
very
it
much,
to us.
of course.
Thank you, Casey. I believe there was actually a Reddit thread on that art piece when it was being created. So if anybody knows about that, maybe you want to give it to the guys in Twitch chat. But of course, the storyline that we will come back to in the game that we'll be waiting to start, as I'm sure Alliance and LGD did leave their pods just to get a little bit of a breather. You play over an hour game, you're going to need some time to recuperate to go into game number 2. But that is, of course, where we're going next. What do LGD need to change? What do they need to think about when they play against Alliance to bring this back to 1-1?
I think it's the same story as usual. LGD almost always goes into the first 15 minutes with a deficit. If they can ever get past the laning phase and come out ahead on gold, even on gold, is really good for LGD China. This is what they did with a 20,000 gold deficit. So imagine if they ever had to lead in that game.
I think another thing they could do is force a bit of early game aggression. They had a really good lineup for setting up fights and ganking a lot, but not really the best tower pushing abilities. I would like to see maybe a Sylar lone druid. It's not a hero we've seen all too much. It has a very bad success rate this tournament so far. But Sylar has one of the best lone druids in the game, and that's a hero that pummels towers.
I also was thinking anti-mage, but I didn't see the bans. Even in this matchup, even though Alchemist was really relevant just because of the amount of farm that there was. Did you see a ban on the anti-mage, or...?
Well, it's going to be complicated for LGD China because I was checking before that game, and I think they have the lineup they felt most comfortable with. I don't think LGD China has anything that feels better or suits them better. If you see their combination, when LGD China played Magnus versus Alchemist, before this match, they were 89% win rate. They only lost once when playing that combination. If they lose with that, I'm not sure there's a hero or a combination that actually suits them better to their playstyle. They have to just keep playing what they can and do their best.
All right, and Alliance, just won game 1. Obviously, it was close. They're going to be relieved. I'm sure they felt pretty in control most of the time once they saw that the racks were coming down. They had a strategy and they did execute it to win the game. Going into game 2, is this going to change anything for them, or do you reckon with having that 1-0 kind of buffer, the ability to make a mistake, if they think of it that way, they might come with something a little bit more specific to take down LGD in game 2?
I honestly think Alliance wants to put on even more early game aggression right now. They want to maybe, like, if LGD allows them to, pick up a Chen for Arche, get Lotus Gyrocopter that he's been super successful with throughout the tournament. We could see any number of heroes on S4. You never know, like a Beastmaster, a Night Stalker even, stuff like that. I think they want to be the aggressors.
Yeah, Phantom Lancer and Nature's Prophet, they take advantage of maybe 15 to 20, 25 minutes. Once they start to get their items rolling, they can split push, put a lot of pressure on the other team. But I think that LGD is really weak in the early game, and they could capitalize on heroes that could take advantage of that, like Lifestealer, Gyrocopter, any of those. I think they can just put LGD at such a deficit that they don't even have a chance in the mid game, which they excel at.
All right, so I'm going to put you guys on the spot. I'm going to ask you who's going to win the game number 2, but how are they going to win?
Alliance, and through Arce's phenomenal play on either Chen or Enchantress, granted that LGD allows them.
Okay, Bruno?
LGD China, I think they will drag it along and win this game by just executing a little bit better. Just 2 seconds is all they needed last time. 2 seconds, they will have it this time.
Yeah, I'll have to agree with Bruno on that one. I think I'm going to go with my prediction, 2-1 LG or 2-1 Alliance. So LGD has to win this one.
We'll see if it's
what
Mystic
do you think,
Bruno.
James?
I'm just the guy who asked you guys. I don't really have an opinion. Right. Over to the game.
Alliance versus LGD Gaming.
Welcome everybody back here to the Battle Royal Hall. I am Toby One.
And I'm Wagamama.
And we are back here for game number 2 of our best of 3, man. And after game number 1, who knows what's coming for game number 2.
What a sick game. That was completely crazy.
It is, man. It absolutely is. Game number 2, though, looks to be set to go down the same path. The guys are already starting at the draft.
Yeah.
I almost want to give a big shout out as well to someone who is, not able to tune in right now. Our panel member, Gods, who couldn't make it here. He had to leave halfway through the last game to catch his flight.
In that game. That he tweeted out right before he left, have to leave. This game is so intense. He didn't even know.
Luckily,
the
there'll
end of
be
that.
highlight clips galore from that game. But
That's
man,
true.
let's look
head
at this
into
drop.
it.
Let's look at this drop because already you see again LGD. Alliance S4 has said you can have the Alchemist. You can have him again. Again, we see Sylar with his hard farmer. The change up this time around is Zhao Wei. Well, he didn't pick up the Dark Seer again. He let it go through, but he grabs the Visage this time.
He grabs the Visage and also S4. After giving away this Alchemist, this time he picks up Naga Siren early, as it was banned out in the second phase in the first game.
Yep.
He picks it up early to secure it, and it can be a very nice hero against Alchemist. There's many things to it. You can ensnare him always, even in the BKB, and in some teamfights you can even ulti and ensnare him in his BKB and slay him while his team is sleeping. So it's a very good hero to have against him, especially as a support.
I'm interested to see how both teams approach this lineup. Like, you know, we have a Naga Siren, and I know a lot of people who were here at TI2 will remember the Naga Siren, the sleep, the set up to the big AoE ultimate effects. You get the black holes, you get the ravages, you add these kind of steel kind of things. But now when you pick up a Nature's Prophet as your next one, it gives you strong laning, it gives you a lot of damage during the team fight through obviously the Prophet ultimate, but it doesn't give you a big area of effect damage kind of pull. So I'm going to see if S4. Well, we get Gyro. He's got, actually, I believe it's still
I was just about
no
to
losses.
say, we're going to go into a Gyro for sure. When we see Naga and Nature's Prophet, there will be a Gyro. We saw it in the prelims. We cast a lot of Alliance games, and they played it several times. Naga Siren along with Gyrocopter.
Yep.
They sleep, and EGM will be playing the Naga, and the timing he has on catching out the enemy team when they're standing just a little bit too close.
Yep.
And then canceling it perfectly with the Gyro ulti. Every single time we saw it, it was really marvelous to watch.
And this is where I would ask you the question. Are we going to see an Alliance S4 Puck to combine up with both Naga and Gyro? Or does he look down a different line here?
It could very well be, but I think they want to see a little bit more about LGD first. What's the second support going to be? What's their mid going to be? LGD, they have to show the colors a little bit more with this pick as well. Only having Alchemist and Visage doesn't really tell the tale of the lineup. So.
They may not actually have to show it at all when you look at, like, you got a Visage. You pick up another supporter right now, you won't know your other two cores. And Alliance have to go into, well, obviously there's another two sets of picks, but Alliance has the next pick and they'll have to do a blind.
But their next pick, they can pretty much pick up a support as well. So we're going to see Bane.
Again.
And this is an insanely strong lane. If you lane Bane, Visage, and Alchemist, there's not a lot of heroes that can contest this lane at all.
Yeah.
It's pretty brutal. The damage from Nightmaring into Alchemist done into Visage. And we see Crystal Maiden. I love seeing this hero.
The lovely blonde of the scene.
She's so nice.
She is obviously very fragile as a woman, and also very slow. Mainly her movement speed is really, really bad.
The main reason that Crystal Maiden does not play that much is that her movement speed is low. She is a very nice hero in other regards, having a slow, having a stun. Her, well, sort of stun. Frostbite is not really a stun. It cancels spells, but you can still cast spells from it.
Oh, we're going to go again. Yao. Again, we'll get his Magnus.
LGD seem to have a very similar lineup to last game, combination play, and we saw the beautiful combinations they played in the team fights. It was just superb. Even fighting against 20,000 gold advantage, they still won.
Yep. So mid-solo, if that is going to be Magnus, it will be Magnus. Mid-solo means Alliance now know what they want to do with their mid-solo. It's melee versus melee. Their choices are pretty much open for what they want to try and run there. They may even just try and go, obviously, like we mentioned the Puck before, not a bad hero up against the Magnus, but really to be careful about that timing for the RP.
LGD need to ban Timbersaw. LGD needs to ban it out. I think that if they don't, S4 will so happily play it in this game. There's an Alchemist, there's a Magnus, two melee strength heroes that he will easily lane against or play against in the mid game. And with the fighting lineup of LGD, it's a really nice game for Timbersaw. So let's see if they gotta do it. They did it in the previous game in the 5th ban.
I think that last match performance has to have a ×2 on the diffusal blade. When they share with the double heart, there should be a double diffusal to spend money on. They actually banned out a DK, thinking that'll be the matchup up against the Magnus. Wouldn't actually be a bad selection as far as Alliance goes. We'll allow to push down towers pretty quickly, but I think you are right as far as like the ability to slice LGD and Twine when you're at that Timbersaw. But Alliance, there's a little bit of a discussion, not much of one. It looks like S4 is removing his hand to the mouse, so maybe they are ready to select here. In fact, yeah, then we're going already back to their chairs, and we'll see if you can be right with your Timbersaw selection.
Everyone done talking in the team of Alliance, so they're gonna go for a 5th pickup, and LGD. I imagine the last pickup is just gonna be the same pattern as in the last game as well. gonna go for a 5 stunner kind of lineup and just fight a lot.
Yeah. Well, it kind of worked for them. Well, at the end of the game, I still want to ask myself that question.
It worked.
What if Sylar didn't chase the kill? Like that was, I was completely surprised by the amount of damage. Like when he had started attacking on that